Trump just this week revealed a budget plan that will entirely eliminate the Head Start program everywhere in the country. This would have been a month's worth of headlines in any other administration. I mean, Head Start is preschool, and Trump is going to cut it to zero. Nearly 50% of all Head Start funding in the whole country goes to rural areas in which there often is no other childcare option available for young parents. Head Start is it, and Trump is zeroing out Head Start. Zero. He's eliminating.
The preschool program that helps millions of low-income children for nearly 60 years is now at risk of being dismantled. This is what we know. Head Start was launched in the 1960s by President Lyndon B. Johnson during the War on Poverty. It was designed to give children a fair shot with access to early education, health care, nutrition, and emotional support. In 2007, a bipartisan effort strengthened the program, raising standards, improving oversight, and expanding support across all states. But now, after major federal cuts, the program will no longer have the support needed to continue to provide for their students. In the first week of April, at least 5 regional Head Start offices have been abruptly shut down, including the Michigan office that supports several surrounding states. According to the Michigan Head Start Association, the closures followed sweeping layoffs at the Department of Health and Human Services, orchestrated by the newly formed Department of Government Efficiency. The Department of Health and Human Services says cutting the offices and laying off staff would save taxpayers $1.8 billion a year. They claim all statutorily required programs will remain intact and that the changes will better serve Congress's intent. But they have yet said which programs are protected or how removing entire offices won't disrupt services. And with the Department of Education notably absent from the conversation, many are asking, why is HHS the one slashing a program for children's education, and what will the real cost be? This isn't just about budget cuts, it's about privilege. It's about systemic oppression. When Head Start programs are cut, it's children who lose safe spaces, early learning, and a fair shot at the future.
So for the Republicans, they're not even faking it anymore. Kids are only kids when they serve a political purpose for them. When they can use the sanctity of a life to take rights away from a woman, then they're fine with it. But when it comes to spending money for those kids to actually get an education and make a better life, then that's a problem. They need to pull themselves from their bootstraps. So the administration completely defunded the Head Start program. Zero. They put zero, not even $10 just zero. And the Head Start program is there for kids that come from challenged neighborhoods or low income neighborhoods, and they need that extra push so they can start all at the same level. And they have a fighting chance in the world, basically. If you look at everything that these people are doing, attacking education, attacking public schools, cutting SNAP, Medicare, now Head Start, the disdain that they have for people that are not as lucky as those millionaires and billionaires most of them were, well, I think all of them were born with a silver spoon in their mouth. The disdain that they have for them is fucking incredible. But it's even more incredible how we are seeing them gut all these programs and they still have a cult-like following. So that is my overall problem with the situation. That, some people are like, oh, it's only 3 and something years left. Yes, maybe. I doubt it, but let's say it's only 3 and something years left. Let's say it's only a year and something left for the midterms, and then we're in a lockdown and nothing happens. The damage that they have already done to these kids, to the education system, to the economy, to international commerce, or standing or defense, everything else, is beyond fucking repair. And when it's repaired, it's going to take decades to get there. I'm Alex. This is my rant.
So, in the budget that they're trying to pass right now, it has a piece in there saying that they want to eliminate Head Start, which is for basically foster kids, young children, families that cannot afford childcare, daycare, preschool, food. But a lot of people don't know that Head Start also has a senior care program. Guess who I work for? We give healthy meals to the elderly that cannot get themselves out to the store and shop for themselves and buy food for themselves. We bring them at least one hot meal every day. And that's what I do for a living besides take care of my dad. And Trump is going to eliminate Head Start. It's in the budget plans for the 2026 thing. So we'll see if it goes through or not, but just letting you know, AP just reported through documents that it's in there. It's in the budget. Let's see if it actually goes through or not, and we'll find out.
Well, I've tried to record this video a few times, but apparently I'm in so much trouble that I can't record a longer video, so I'll try to make it as short as possible. But, yeah, Felon 47 is trying to dismantle the Head Start program. And I know that there are a lot of people who have mixed feelings about it. They think it's a crappy program and they think it's a good program. I've worked for 2 different programs in 2 different states. I can say that the first one that I worked at was not that great of a program, but it was still beneficial. The program that I used to work at in the state that I live in now was a wonderful program, is a wonderful program, does wonderful, wonderful things for the community. And it is a model Head Start program. Without this program, families are going to lose employment because Head Start actually prides itself on hiring from within. They want families to be successful. And so a lot of, the staff, general staff, are actual parents that have children enrolled in the Head Start program. That's how I became a preschool teacher. I started out just doing stuff in the classroom, and then I got more and more education, and then I was teaching. I've taught preschool for more than 20 years, off and on. And when I left the Head Start program this last time, I was actually a family service worker. I was a social worker for the Head Start program, not a licensed social worker, but part of my role was to help families access community resources as it pertains to doctors, dentists, optometrists, food banks. Let's see what else. Resources for helping to pay rent or power bills or things like that when they're experiencing some hard times. Resources for families who are experiencing interparental violence and intimate partner violence and things like that. We help be a bridge to those resources. Sometimes we're their first line of defense because we see it. And so we help them. So the community that I live in now, if they dump this program, we are losing so many jobs and children are going to lose their education. And it's not free daycare. Kids are there for about anywhere from 4 to 7 hours a day because we have half day and full day programs. So it's a very small window. We follow the local school district. So we've got all of those vacation times and all of summers off. So, parents can work, but it's not very consistent and they have to find care for when we're closed because we're closed a lot. But, we teach these kids so many skills developmentally to prepare them for kindergarten. And I know for a fact that parents don't know what their children need to know before they go to kindergarten or whether or not they're developmentally ready. And when I tell you how many kindergarten teachers, they know when the kids in our community have been to Head Start. They know right away because they're ready for kindergarten. That's the whole point of Head Start, is to make sure that these kids are ready to learn when it's time to start their formal education. A lot of them can't get that at home, especially when you have 2 working parent households. So dismantling this program, it's detrimental to society, to the children, to the families. And I'm heartbroken. Don't take away Head Start. That's a poor choice.
White House has announced that they are trying to get rid of Head Start. White House proposing to eliminate Head Start funding is literally a complete attack on Black and brown children. The Head Start program was established in 1965, and it was started to give early education to 750,000 low-income children within the United States. And since the rollout of Head Start, that has very well been the case. If you look at the demographic of children who have attended Head Start in the past year, you will clearly see that Hispanic and Black children majorly make up who go to Head Start program. And parents across this country depend on the Head Start program because they have to work. Cutting this program will then force a lot of parents to then have to go and get childcare services that they already can't afford. Not only that, we know that early childhood education programs allows for children in impoverished communities to have a starting chance. Let me just give you some statistics. By age 12, affluent kids are 4 grade levels above poor kids. Rich children are 77 more likely to go to college at an Ivy League school. 54% of people who are in elite jobs went to the same 34 universities. Kids with high school diplomas are 5 times more likely to have children out of wedlock. Ensuring that children from poor backgrounds get the same opportunity as children from affluent backgrounds is detrimental to the success of our community.
Hey guys, I got a nugget for you. So, the White House has asked Congress to eliminate funding for Head Start. Eliminating funding for Head Start. Those are some of the most neediest families. They're also doing deep cuts to the DHHR. I reminded you that of yesterday. We ran through some of the lists. Here's my question. So we're all pro-life. But it's really pro-birth. And I am pro-life. But you guys are pro-birth. There's a difference. I am willing and understand my taxes going to help the poor of the poor in this country. I mean, I've heard for years from you guys, why are you not taking care of the poor in our country? Why are you guys not doing this? Why are you guys not doing that? But you're perfectly fine as long as it's Trump taking the money from DHHR. Some of our most needed things for the poorest of Americans. They're closing Head Start. Do you know how important Head Start is for families and children? I don't understand. It's either what Trump says, and then you guys don't agree with anything else. Let me know what you think. Give me a follow. Let's talk about it.
So while everyone is reporting that the AP got their hands on this leaked budget document from the Trump administration where they call for the elimination of the Head Start program, we already knew this because they wrote it down on page 483 of Project 2025, where it reads, eliminate the Head Start program. They also eliminate SNAP benefits and WIC benefits and health care and prenatal care and assistance for families going through emergency medical situations so they don't become homeless or have to interrupt cancer treatments for their children. And it doesn't matter whether Congress passes this budget or not. They're destroying the department from within on purpose. I mean, why else would you put Robert F. Kennedy Jr. in charge of Health and Human Services? I mean, I wouldn't let this man hand out free Band-Aids at the community pool this summer. It was always the plan to destroy these departments from within, to fire all the employees, to defund it. So it doesn't matter because they don't care about the middle and lower class. They want them destroyed so that they will be reliant on his hair plug billionaires.
Hundreds of families in central Washington are scrambling because Head Start, where they live, has been shut down.
This is because they haven't received any federal funding. The Trump administration has made it very clear Head Start is not high on their priority list. Now, even though families have known about this since Friday, you just can't arrange childcare. There are wait lists across the state and country for daycares, and those workers, 72 of them, can't just pick up and get a job somewhere else. Now, we know the way out of poverty is education, and that's why President Lyndon B. Johnson established the National Head Start program 60 years ago. Unfortunately, the current administration is dead set on ending this program that's lifted so many kids, including myself, out of poverty.
If the federal funding comes through, Inspire Development Center says they will reopen the Head Starts, but this region's office has been closed for about 2 weeks. They locked the employees out and sent them home and said they were being terminated. And those employees, I believe 6 of them, just didn't serve Washington, but they served Alaska, Idaho, and Oregon. And all this begs the question, why? Why is this being done? And I think it's quite obvious. The current administration does not care for or like poor people, and they are ripping away one of this country's only social safety nets for poor families and children.